Hey guys, so my wife and I, we do develop some software, and most of that software has been for third parties that we've signed some non-disclosures with. However, we did just recently release our first game. It's called Boxes by Parker and Leigh. So if you search the App Store for Boxes by Parker and Leigh, this app will come up. Actually, let's just do that real quick. Now this does have what's called Skillz built into it, so it allows you to compete with other players, and you can see how you do compared to them. And it's a match 3 game with a small little twist. So if we go into practice mode here, the goal is within 3 minutes to get as many points as you can, of course. And you just sort of drag from the bottom deck here onto the board. And as you drag, you're creating some long chains. Once you've dragged all of them on, any groups of 3 or more will go ahead and collapse and then bring in more colors. And through all of this, I've seen a lot of people who just sort of drag quickly to try and get points. But if you do that, you're gonna get quite a few. You won't get very high scoring because you're not gonna match things up very easily. However, if you have some planning in here, it slows you down at first. As you get used to it, you can go ahead and plan to get those matched up and then maybe bring this in and hopefully score better. My wife is actually much better at it than I am, so she always scores higher than me. And I think my high score on here is like 200,000, so there I was at 640. But obviously you can get quite high by matching this up. So one of the things that we wanted to program into Boxes by Parker and Leigh, because we've played some of these other games that have a very colorful scheme, I wanted to keep in mind that my wife and I were able to see the full color spectrum, but not everybody is. So inside our themes here, where you're able to choose different color themes, you're actually able to choose a theme titled Accessible that ideally will be visible to people who have issues seeing the full color spectrum. So if I choose the accessible color theme and then come into practice mode, I can do this in play as well. We can see the accessible theme here with a color palette that is ideally visible, and you can see the differences between each of these colors for anybody who might have some difficulty seeing the full color spectrum. If that's not something that you have difficulty with, you can of course play with that theme or come in here and play with our classic, our fall. We may update these themes later on, so you just choose one of those themes, and then when you go into play, the colors are in the same order when you're competing against somebody, but just with this new color theme that you have chosen. And if I go into play, this brings up the Skillz interface. You can practice with different levels of Z. Z is a currency that you can collect for free. Every 2 hours you get 5 free Z. Their platform does allow for actually competing with money, so you can compete against somebody and win money. The Skillz platform right up here, I have $13.86 in my account balance. This game does not yet have money enabled, but it will hopefully have money enabled shortly. So I can come in here and see games that are in progress, and then it can show me if I've lost or won. So if I go down here, it shows me all the items that I've won. Actually, you can see all the items I've lost. And then if I come in here and play for some Z, I just tap on the Z. It will search for an opponent. It paired me against 1 of 6 just now. And so 1 of 6 has already played this particular grid. And now I'm going to play the grid, and so I'll come in here and try to arrange these colors. And I'll get rid of these orange right over here because I can see that that's going to be easiest to get rid of orange. And maybe right there. Still a little bit of orange left. Let me move that over. And now I'm going to go ahead and actually pull 1 on here. So I've got 3 there, 4, and I only have 1 orange left, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And now that I got rid of all of the orange, it's no longer going to show up. So it'll be easier for me to make longer chains with other colors now. So I'll come in here and pair up some of these greens. I don't know why I moved that. Doing this live on camera is always fun. So let's see here, get a purple in here. So every time I sort of go through the deck at the bottom, it goes through and collapses anything with 3 or more. So it's just a little puzzle game of sorts. You can see I've already scored 1,440. I'll go ahead and play for a moment here, and then we'll cut the video so you don't have to watch the whole time of it. All right, so here I again have matched up all this red. Here's a red down here that I can't really match up, so I'm gonna pull that off the screen. That way, now I have no red. So now I have 4 colors versus the original 6. Let me see if I can get rid of another color. Right now I'm working on trying to get rid of blue. Sometimes you have to decide to change the color after the next set falls because you're like, oh, I should have gotten rid of that color instead. Here I think I'm going to switch to maybe yellow, trying to get rid of all of the yellow on the board. One left right here. However, if I pull that up, I end up breaking that up right there. Oh, and I ran out of time. Great. So I scored 5,000 on this one. My highest score ever is 276,655. So you can definitely do much better than if you're sitting here and just sort of trying to play it quickly or not quickly while videotaping. Let me go ahead and end this and see how 1 of 6 did. 1 of 6 scored 8,875, being dealt the same colors in the same order that I did. So she won, I lost, and she got my Z for winning. So my Z dropped, her Z goes up. And if we come here to the leaderboard, 1 of 6 is actually 3rd in here right now. Here I am 6th on the board. So you can see that I've either A, not been playing very much lately, or B, all these other people are better than me. All right, so this is the new game that we just released. It's called Boxes by Parker and Leigh. Again, it integrates with the Skillz platform, which allows you to compete with other players and see if they can score better than you or if you can score better than them. And it's just a series of boxes on the screen that you have to try to move around and match up to get the most points. It was our first game that we've tried to do. It's written in React Native. It integrates with the Skillz platform through Objective-C. Some really cool stuff technologically that's going on here. If you download it, you'll see a tutorial that you can run through that will talk about how to play the game. And I hope to see some of you guys on our leaderboard. Thank you so much for giving this a watch. Cheers.